Hello and welcome to a relatively short episode of Character Unlock, which makes sense after the two recent bumper episodes we've had of us. You're probably happy with that because you're probably bored of our voices by now. I know I am, especially my guest, co-host, man, Mr. Brooker. How are you?
Fuck you!
Yeah.
I am good, mate. I am good, thank you. How about your good self?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm fucking exhausted, but it's been a very short week because, Easter holidays coming up. You're all probably at work, actually, because most people don't actually get bank holidays off work these days.
No. It is weird at work at the moment. Like today, everyone seemed to be in holiday mode. You're like, motherfuckers, you got another day yet?
It's fucking Wednesday. It's not even close to holiday mode yet.
But yeah, everybody seems to have shut down already for the day, for the week. You're like, okay, I'll just twiddle my thumbs for a couple of hours then.
Everyone's probably just delirious from the fact that they lost an hour of sleep on Sunday.
Well, I've got a kid. I'd always lose an hour of sleep on a Sunday.
It's the other end of the year because you've got a dog who, they don't understand the whole you get an extra hour of sleep. They want to go for the piss and a walk.
Yep.
At normal time for them.
Exactly. It's British summertime and GMT, and that it means very little to me. It's just an inconvenience as I have to figure out which of the clocks in my house don't change automatically.
Yeah, it's occasionally just wandering around and just looking at stuff going, I'm pretty sure that's not right.
Yeah.
And then you have to bust out the dust off the manual from the last time you had to change the time on your oven.
Yeah. I don't bother now. I just switch it off and then wait till midnight and switch it on again.
That could work. I wish I could do that with mine, but for some reason my oven, when you turn it off, breaks everything.
Nice.
And then I have to press buttons randomly until eventually it starts working again properly.
Is it one of those kind of like, because we had this in our old flat, and it was like a built-in oven with a little electric hob thing, and if you had a power cut, like randomly one hob just wouldn't work.
Yeah,
And
kind of like that.
the problem is they're like ceramic hobs, so until you touch them, you don't know if they're hot or not. So now it's like Russian roulette with soup in your fingers. Trying to work out whether or not you're going to cook anything or fight with the thing until you burn your hand.
Yeah, I've got some. It's kind of that as well as the old-fashioned. You know how you can have your oven turn off after a specific amount of time,
Yeah.
so that when you finish cooking something, the oven turns itself off.
Yep.
You don't end up burning a whole house down.
Yeah.
Mine defaults to that setting, but I also don't know how to set the timer on it, so I can put food in and just it won't turn on, and I just turn the little dial until eventually the oven comes on, and then I have no idea how long I've got it for because there's no display to tell me how long I've just turned it for.
Nice. It's like bingo.
It's
You
eventually
might have a cooked lasagna, you might not. Just
might still be frozen on the inside and burnt on the outside.
Yep. Yeah. I think you and I may have had the same oven at some
Probably.
point.
I don't even know what brand it is. It's probably been rubbed off by now. I'm not the first occupant of this flat, and I probably won't be the last or the last person to use the oven because it's unlikely it'll ever get changed. Even if it breaks, there you will just go, it was never working.
Well, I tell you what, mate, I was a complete fucking imbecile when we first moved into our flat because I've always grown up with just like gas hobs. So we've got these shit ceramic things. It's a cheap one as well. It's not like a nice induction one that glows a nice red. It's just this cheap shit ceramic hob. And I'm like, I looked at it, I said, you can't even tell when it's on. Like a twat, I went and hit it with my hand, and it was on. It took all the back of the skin off the back of my fingers off.
Nice. Well done, Brooks.
Dude, I looked at my hand. It didn't hurt. I could just see these big holes in the flesh at the back of my hand, going, "That's gonna sting tomorrow."
It's like your parents didn't tell you to not touch the stove while it's on.
I was like, I don't even know if it's on. Like a fucking retard, just touching things, waiting to be burnt.
Start randomly touching stuff, see if it's on.
This is it.
It's made of electricity, Brooks.
I'm so glad we got out of there before we had Nikita, because she would definitely have left her face on the cooker by now.
Your kid is awesome, but she does sound a bit dim.
Oh, she's a kid. All kids do it. So my kid is awesome. She's fucking amazing, but she still does kid things like, pick her nose just after wiping her ass and having shit on her face. She doesn't really do that. Just thought it sounded funny.
Okay. Grim, not
Yeah.
funny.
She just, draw faces on the wall. Wasn't me. Well, sweetheart, it weren't anybody else that lives in this house.
Definitely wasn't me.
Because your other options are 2 grown-ups and a dog. And none of us draw that well. I love it. Because I used to do it when I was a kid, because there was me and 2 brothers. So you'd go, it wasn't me, it was him. It must have been him. But when you're the only kid, you can't blame the toys.
Sure you can.
We can, but it doesn't work.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Well, I tell you what, right? Talking about toys, this will make you laugh. I have on my desk at work a tiny little clockwork robot thing. So,
Okay.
literally, you just spin it, and it's a little green robot. It's Veeam branded, the backup solution.
Yep.
You screw the thing up, and then you let it go, and it's just a little clockwork robot that dances. Right? I've had it since September when I went to a VMUG thing in London. No, Birmingham. So, went to a Veeam thing yesterday in London, came back with another one of these fucking clockwork robots. I thought, well, I don't fucking need it, so I give it to Nikita. Now, this thing is free. It must have cost Veeam about 12p to make. The kid has a house filled with hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of toys. I have never known anybody get so much joy out of one little thing. She spent more time dancing along with this stupid clockwork robot than she spent on the £200 tablet that she's got, the fucking boxes of toys and books and things. Like, I could have just gone to a conference and given you all the free shit and saved myself thousands of pounds.
Just start taking your child with you to whenever you go to these conferences.
Oh, God. I mean, they're pretty boring anyway, but it'd be worse trying to entertain her at the same time.
No, she just run around screaming all the time. It's brilliant.
But yeah, that's my life, mate. Pretty much just summed up in like a minute and a half. Stupid
Cool.
kids and clockwork toys and cookers.
And people wonder why we are still recording after all this time.
I know.
Because we've got all this insight that people just don't have of your life.
Well, I'll tell you what, right? I'll add to it. I've literally just received an email from Epic Films.
Okay.
Right? Epic Films are releasing a film called Terrifier, which is a scary clown horror movie in the States. So I'm importing the Blu-ray from America. It gets dispatched tomorrow and will not be with me for probably about 10 days.
A month.
I've just got an email asking me to rate my experience with the store. Well, shit so far because nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Basically, all you've done is taken 20 quid of my money and done nothing with it. You've taken 20 quid of my money and then asked me to fill in a survey. This is not how customer service works, lads.
Sure it is. You gave them money, and now they want to know how well they've done.
I'm sure they'll be fine, but I'm not telling them until I actually get my Blu-ray. Anyway. How about you, mate? Things all right with you?
Yeah, everything's pretty good. I've not got anything as interesting as someone sending me something that's going to take a long time to arrive. But Boomerang have received all of my games back and haven't sent me anything still, so I'm now earning cash in with the playback points.
Yeah.
While I wait for them to send me something, which I'm a little disappointed I didn't get Kirby, if I'm honest.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, because I've got a long weekend away from my flat and Xbox, so I'm taking the Switch, and there's only so much Mario Kart I can play, so I might end up having to buy something off of the Nintendo store.
Doom.
No, stop it.
Doom's on sale.
I'm not getting Doom, okay? Fuck off. It's bad enough that it's getting the 4K texture pack coming soon.
Oh, dude, that's going to look so gorgeous. I will be reinstalling Doom just so I can play through it again.
If you come anywhere near my Xbox and install Doom for me, right? Burn your cat down.
My, yes, you can have my cat. Yeah, it's a shame. 'Cause I've never ever had an issue with Boomerang, but I think because we was talking about this the other day, weren't we? You've fully loaded your queue with stuff, haven't you?
Yeah,
It's tough to manipulate your queue for new releases when you've got a full queue of other things.
yeah. It it's proper difficult to get something. So I've got the new releases set up for in an order for when I kind of expect them. So they all go to the top of the list.
Yeah,
But and then they go to the top of the list and I've set to top choice at them when the new release is coming out. So A Way Out was one of them. Far Cry was another one
yeah,
where I wanted them to come on release, and they went to the top of my list under the guise of new release, and then I didn't get them.
yeah,
So after a little while, A Way Out then went to all on rent.
yeah.
So I'm guessing they just didn't get that many. But then when Far Cry came around, and that was at new release, and then they were sending out dispatch notifications, and they put the tweet out about it, and then I saw there was like 10 other people started replying to them saying, I didn't get a dispatch notification, I'm guessing you'd run out of copies.
Fucking
And I was
hell.
like looking at it going, oh, well, I guess I'm not getting Far Cry either.
Yeah, see, I look at my list, so I've got literally currently renting, I've got A Way Out, which is over on the shelf at the moment. Games to rent, nothing. I have nothing in my list, and I've got God of War in my coming soon. So when that comes out in a couple of weeks, it will go straight to number one and posted straight out to me, hopefully.
Yeah,
I literally have nothing else in my queue. Not because I don't want to rent anything, just because that's the only way to make sure I get the games that. Because I have that proper kind of like fear of missing out. So, oh shit, I didn't get my game. But I really want to play my game. And I'll buy it, even though I won't have time to play it. I go, but I have to have it right now. Because I'm a fucking child. So I have to be careful and tactical with my boomerang list.
wish uh, wish I could think of something else that I'd actually be able to get from Boomerang anytime soon. I actually kind of want to play. Because I'm looking at my list and it's not great. But there's also not a lot coming.
No, we've gotten over now. Now Far Cry's here, and we've got God of War in a couple of weeks. That's pretty much it for big stuff coming for a couple of months at least. I think.
So I'm going to change my Boomerang list to top 5. And then I'll probably end up with fucking loads of shit that I don't want.
Yep.
Ooh. I get the Raven HD, whatever that is.
I don't know what that is.
Gonna move Assassin's Creed Rogue up a couple of notches. uh, Railway Empire.
Oh, that sounds thrilling.
Yeah, Overcooked. We absolutely need to get Overcooked for Switch.
Or a bit of co-op.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be brilliant for when we go up to EGX. Just all Switch games. Let's just get all of the Switch games.
I do quite fancy Overcooked. It looks like something I could play with Nikita as well, so I might have to buy it. But I own all these fucking games on Switch. I haven't finished any of them. I've finished one Switch game now, and that's it.
Ah, there's a new game coming out on Switch in like 2 days. And it's called Penny Punching Princess.
What?
I know nothing about this game, but I just know that it's on my list of games coming out soon. Penny Punching Princess. Sounds fucking hilarious.
That sounds great.
I really hope it's going to end up being good. Ooh, has an announcement trailer.
Nice.
This looks terrible, but fucking hilarious.
I did see, I was kind of going through the news on my Switch the other day, and I did see that Little Nightmares is getting a Switch release.
All right.
in May. It's one of those games I always kind of fancied. So, ooh. And it looks like, because it's a little like platform puzzler looking thing. So it looks like one of those perfect for Switch type games. So, that's on my radar now. But that doesn't come out till May. So I've got some time to play like, all the other games I own for it now.
You know what game needs to come out on Switch?
Go on in.
Castle Crashers.
Oh, God.
It would be perfect. It's designed for that.
Yeah.
Never before has a game been designed more for handheld than Castle Crashers. If any of the guys from the Behemoth are listening, which are probably not, Castle Crashers on Switch.
Do it.
So I guess a bit of news, seeing as we've just sort of milled about for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know how we said this was going to be a short episode? We just randomly chatted for no reason.
Well,
We normally save this stuff for before recording.
Yeah. We started recording really early as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of happened to luck into some extra time.
Yeah. We actually had a fair bit of extra time, but more about that later. The only news we have to talk about at all is that video games company Grainger Games told 21 of their stores to not open up anymore, pretty much, as they are nearing administration, and their website's gone.
Yeah.
So if you go to the Grainger Games website, you just get the logo, and you can't do anything else.
Yeah, that's a real shame. They're one of those companies. I think I've only used them like 2 or 3 times when they've had an offer on, and I fancied one of their games. Yeah, they've always been good when I've used them, and they've been delivered to me. But their issue, I think, is the same as a lot of other companies: is their bricks and mortar stores, and overheads are expensive, and foot traffic is low nowadays.
Foot traffic's very low when you've got no stores inside busy places.
Yeah, their stores are in bizarre places. There's very little presence from them, south of the Watford Gap.
Yeah, they've got one store in Oxford, but it's not anywhere near the main parts of Oxford. The same as they've got stores around Manchester, but none of them are inside the M60.
Yeah.
So they're basically not even in Manchester.
Which, I understand, it's very expensive to have, stores in these cities, but, that's how you make money, by being in the city. It's a shame. It is. And like I say, when I used them, they were great, but they don't have stores down here. But I'm a big advocate for Game. I love Game. You look at any article that's been on about this Grainger Games thing, and the comments are filled with people going, "Oh no, they're going. Oh, now I'm left with fucking Game." Well, if you got off your ass and went to the store and spent your money there, they would still be around.
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of these people are saying, "Oh yeah, now I have to go to Game." Well, if you think about it, the reason you go to Game anyway is because the game stores are inside your city centre. So
Yep.
the one in Milton Keynes, there was previously 3, obviously 3, because that was before they had the administration problem of their own. And there is one in the middle of the city centre. In Manchester, they've got one in the Trafford Centre.
Yeah.
It's like they get a lot of foot traffic just from people just walking around with their kids, and their little boy sees, or little girl sees, a game store and is like, "Oh, we need to go look in there because, I don't know, they might have something cheaper than the one in the town centre that we actually live in."
Well, mate, I tell you, I on Monday I nipped into Game in Milton Keynes because I've got an insane amount of fucking credit on my Game wallet. So I nipped in. I was like, "Can I prepay for my Far Cry 5, please?" So we're only doing prepay for the gold edition. I was like, "You cheeky fuckers, properly upselling."
Yep. Genius.
Doesn't matter. I was going to go in and buy the gold edition anyway, but I was like, "Oh, you cheeky motherfuckers."
Did you call them cheeky motherfuckers?
No.
I actually know one of the guys who works at the Game MK store.
Okay.
I say I know. I played Xbox with his brother.
All right. They're good guys. I have a lot of time for the guys at Game Milton Keynes. The time, when you and me have been down there, they've been great. Every time I've gone in there, whether it's to buy something, to trade something in, they've never forced stuff down my throat. They've always been great. I love them. I swiped my card. I didn't. They scanned my little Game Elite barcode thing. Took the money off my wallet. Give me a little raffle ticket. All good. I gave the receipt and the raffle ticket to Maya because she was going into town on Tuesday and I was going to be in London with this stupid fucking conference. So I said, would you mind, nipping in? No, that's fine. Well, she easily could have spent another 80, 100 quid in there as Nikita was just walking around picking up toys.
Yeah, that happens.
Fucking Pokemon everywhere. I don't even know where Nikita has got a thing for Pokemon from. But Nikita has a thing for Pokemon, and it makes me very sad.
Pokemon are great, mate.
Mate, she keeps walking around for no reason other than the fact that because she can, going, Pika? Pika? Fuck off. Kiss my ass.
There's probably going to be a Pokemon game coming to Switch. It's rumored there's going to be a Pokemon event direct coming up in the next couple of weeks, if not month.
I'm all for Nikita playing games. I am not spending money on a Pokemon game.
You're gonna have to, mate.
I'm just not. She can buy her own fucking Pokemon game.
With the pocket money you give her.
No, she can buy it with other people's money. But yeah, the toys and the way these things are laid out. I mean, game must make a killing just from kids walking in and going, I want, and parents going, yeah, okay.
Well, it's a big thing. The whole the queue system in game where they walk you around that section.
Oh, yes.
Some of those bins are awfully low.
Mm-hmm.
Proper, I can't reach these because I'm now old and I can't bend over that far anymore.
Yeah.
My back hurts too much.
They've nearly caught me a few times though. Like you stand in that queue, I'm like, oh, I can see. Oh, is that Mario Kart? Is that cheap? Yes, it is. Ooh. And it's only because A, I'm in the queue. B, I'm not made of fucking money, and C, I haven't paid for parking. I need to hurry up back to my car. It's the only reason I don't buy anything from there.
Yeah, I think I walked through there once, and there was just randomly the ultra limited edition of Project Cars 2.
Yeah,
was just sitting in the queue section. I'm assuming someone had picked it up and just put it down because they saw the price of it and just left it there.
Yeah.
But it was in the middle of like loads of like cuddly toys, and I was just looking at it going, that's not. That's kind of tempting. But the ultra super awesome edition of Project Cars 2, you actually get a little toy car with it.
Nice.
There's whatever the car is from the main car from Project Cars 2 is. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like a
Don't ask me.
Aston Martin, possibly. I think it's the DBRS.
Okay. No,
Maybe. I didn't buy it in the end.
I'm not the person to ask.
You got a little scale model that came with the game in the box, which is pretty cool. Kind of glad I've stopped buying games for the limited edition ones just because they come with a little model, because my collection's now taking over the top of my wardrobe. I don't have enough space up there to put anything else.
No. But
yeah, Johnny Gat.
Yeah. But yeah, back to talking about Grainger Games. I don't think they've survived a while. They're not a new company. They've been around for a fair bit, but I don't think if you're going to have bricks and mortar stores, you've got to have them in better spots. A random industrial estate in Wrexham isn't going to do it for you.
No. I suppose that's the thing, is you're going to open up a store, but you need to then consider kicking on from that. You need to bite the bullet. You need to go into the areas where, okay, the rent is probably more expensive, but you do need to take that risk. Yeah. Spend that bit more money. You get that bit more traffic.
Yeah.
Let's close the 3 stores, the one in like Stalybridge and the ones outside the M60. Put one inside the Trafford Centre. Yes, you'll probably lose the customers that aren't travelling into Manchester, but Trafford Centre's big for tourism.
Yeah.
You're going to get people going in there, not just locals from Manchester. Yeah. People go to the Trafford Centre while they're up in Manchester for whatever reason. They could be going to the MEN or the Phones for You arena that it used to be called.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah. People going there for the to watch an event and then they stay overnight. They're going to go to the Trafford Centre the next day because, well, fuck it, why not? While we're up here, it's a big motherfucking shopping centre. It's the same as the one we've got in our town, but fuck it, why not? Let's go in.
Yeah.
Let's go pay £15 an hour for parking.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, like I say, it's a shame.
And their stores are bright orange. People are going to go in there because of that.
Yeah. Don't let see, I don't see any retail company go under. I don't. Yeah. People are going to lose their jobs, and it sucks. But
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen with all that stock because it needs to be sold at some point. Are they just going to pull all of the stock together and then just sell it all, or it's like when Toys R Us over here went bust. Did you ever go? Did you go into one of the Toys R Us stores when they're closing down sales?
no,
Nothing's cheaper.
no, it doesn't surprise me. I fell for that when Woolworths closed down. When Woolworths closed down, they were, oh yeah, we're selling everything at a tenth of the price, and everybody rushed in going, "Way, PlayStations, games, films, this will be awesome," and it was just rows and rows and rows of like laundry baskets for 15p.
Yep.
I don't need a. I've got a laundry basket.
That's because all of the stuff that you can actually make money on, they sold up to other companies.
Yeah,
It's like when Virgin Megastores decided to stop being a thing because Richard Branson got bored or something.
yeah. Well, see,
I went in there and I went looking for the entire 24 box set. It
yeah,
was still £115.
yeah.
It's
You
like,
see, when Virgin went under, I walked in. That was when I bought my first PS3. And when Virgin went under, I went in there and said, where are your consoles, mate? And I was like, okay. So I went upstairs, had a look around, and they were selling like deals. They were selling a load of, the console and a shitload of games. I was like, well, I don't really want all those games. And at this point, it is cheap, but I'm still laying out like 450 quid because it's like got like 6 games of it. And the guy looked at me and went, "Well, it's all got to go, so just we'll bin them off, and you just choose 6 games." I was like, "Fucking result." I mean, I say fucking result. One of those games I walked off with was Haze.
yeah, they definitely made a profit on that one.
And what was the other one? The one with the glaive, Dark Sector.
I played Dark Sector on the Xbox. That was not great.
No, it wasn't. But the thing was, it looked cool.
That was well marketed.
It was. It was very well marketed. Uh, but yeah, so like when Virgin went under, I spent a load of money there. When Woolworths went under, not quite so much. So it depends. Like maybe Grainger Games need to sell all their stock back to their administrators, or I don't know. Time will tell. It only happened yesterday, today.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, they could probably sell it to any fucking place.
oh yeah,
But people are going to come out the woodworks and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to buy a load of stuff from Grainger Games because it's all really cheap." Well, maybe if you weren't such a dick, you'd have bought it in the first place.
yeah. It's a shame because as much as I've got quite a large digital collection, I'm still not really an advocate of going digital only. I don't really believe in it. I don't think it. I don't think it's a good idea.
It's not because I've lost broadband and then not been able to play any of my games.
Well, that's it. But it's not just that games get removed from libraries for whatever reason. You know,
Oh yeah, if you had whatever the Kojima game was, I was like, if you had the demo of it, they got pulled because they decided against
Silent
letting happen.
Hills.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. But anything like okay, it's a bad example, but like the Xbox fitness stuff.
Yeah,
Like you had to pay for all of that. Like UFC fitness was like 30 quid, and now you can't use any of it
yep.
because they've retired the app and they've retired the software. And well, hold on, can I have my 30 quid back then? You know, not that I spent 30 quid on any of that because I just
Yeah.
wouldn't.
But it'd be like when they eventually retire off. Well, that's I suppose it's the risk you have because I mean, how much DLC did you have on your PS3 and your Xbox 360,
Well,
which is
that's
now defunct because you've moved up a generation. So unless those games get re-released
yeah.
or backwards compatible,
Well, this is it. I've kind of I've put a few eggs in the. I've mentioned this on this very podcast before. I've gone. I expect future generations to be completely backwards compatible with everything from here on in. Because if it's not, I just don't think it will sell. Not the cost people are asking for games, the cost people are asking for season passes and DLC. If I can't bring that with me when I upgrade to the Xbox One X2B or whatever they want to fucking call it,
or
then
not to be.
yeah, then I either don't buy the console or I go, well, you know what? Fuck you. I'm just going to stick with retail.
Yeah, so there's
Stick with discs.
with Xbox One Classic edition, I mean the original like Xbox, the first
OG
Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah, whatever you
Yeah.
want to fucking call it, because of the stupid naming convention that Microsoft have decided to go with.
The real
They're
Xbox
being,
One.
yeah, they're backwards compatible along with the 360 titles so far, and it's they've made it entirely down to the publisher
Yeah.
or to whether or not it goes onto the Xbox One. So naturally, you've got a lot of publishers who are going, yeah, we're not going to do that because money,
Yeah.
or the developers been snowballed in the case of a lot of EA titles.
Yeah. See,
So there's the cut that every generation of Microsoft console is available to an extent on the current one.
yeah.
There's no stopping them from continuing that trend because, well, the Xbox One is a PC. It's the One X is a mid-power PC. It's for the amount of money that you spend on an Xbox One X, you probably couldn't build a PC of the equivalent power.
No.
Ish.
There's definitely somebody going to argue with you about that.
Oh yeah, there's going to be loads of people saying, "Oh yeah, I spent £500 and I didn't, and
Yeah.
I can do all of this." And it's like, well, that's great. You could also spend £500 and buy a fucking
Yeah.
graphics card
Yeah. I,
on its own.
the thing for me is and this is why PlayStation, and I know PlayStation is, for want of a better term, all the air quotes, winning this generation. I don't like not having access to previous games. I don't like, if I want to play Killzone, I have to pay for that privilege through Gaikai or whatever it was they called it, PlayStation Now. I don't like that at all, and it annoys me. I'm not saying I play a lot of backwards compatible games on the Xbox, but I have the choice.
Yeah,
And I have picked up a couple. I played, first time I played South Park: The Stick of Truth was on a backwards compatible purchase. I've bought Splinter Cell, whatever it's fucking called, Conviction, and
yay!
I bought Spec Ops: The Line, even though I've completed Spec Ops: The Line twice before. It's gone backwards compatible, so I bought it. Dead Space and soon to be Dead Space 2 are going to be backwards compatible. I would
Yep,
quite like to play through those again.
yeah.
You know, I I like having the option, and I don't like having to pay for that option.
I miss the Xbox One original statement for backwards compatible games, which was we're releasing a new Xbox 360 that looks like the Betamax of the Xbox One, and you can just plug that into the HDMI in port.
That'd be awesome.
That was fucking brilliant. They actually had the final SKU of the Xbox 360 looked like the Xbox One, only smaller.
Yep.
Fucking brilliant. But again, it's the Xbox One has the fucking HDMI input.
Yeah.
You can plug your PlayStation 3, 4, 2, if you can get a HDMI connection, your 360, your Skybox, your Virgin Media box, your BT View box, your
Yeah.
laptop, your Fire Stick. I don't know why you would, because you've got all the fucking apps off of that on the fucking Xbox anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Fire Sticks, I briefly want to mention that why do Amazon have a 4K Fire Stick? If you have a 4K TV to plug a 4K Fire Stick in, you have all of the options that the 4K Fire Stick has. The fact, can you even buy 4K TVs that aren't smart?
I do not know. I don't think so.
I think even the most budget brand Hisense now has a full library of 4K apps like Netflix and Amazon Prime.
I know. It's a tick box for the contents list, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
Does 4K and is voice activated, and yeah, I don't know.
I suppose that's the only advantage, the whole voice activate thing. Apparently voice activated's huge. I don't know why.
I don't know. I used to use it with the Kinect and stopped that quite quickly.
Is it because Cortana's fucking awful? It's slow.
Yeah, Cortana's back to annoying me now every time I plug in a headset.
Do you know why Cortana's really shit compared to the old Xbox, whatever the fuck you wanted to say?
Go on, him.
The extra power that the Kinect had. The Kinect had its own processor. So while you were asking the Xbox to do something, the Kinect covered part of it itself.
All right.
Whereas as soon as they put Hey Cortana, because it was in the headset and not the Kinect, it was run by the Xbox, which slowed it right down.
Bloody hell.
You couldn't streamline it because of that. And then with the replacement SKU, the 1S, and the fact that it requires 2 USB ports
Yeah.
to plug in because there was a special connector,
Yeah.
and that's why there was the power brick, because it needed all the extra power, which getting rid of the power brick got rid of the Kinect.
Bloody hell.
People wanted rid of the power bricks, so they had to make a sacrifice, and Microsoft said, well, the only thing we can do is Kinect. So the only way we can get rid of the power brick is to remove Kinect. And
But Kinect's going to be a valuable part of our infrastructure forever. They said.
all they have to do is put webcam.
Yeah.
Just some people wanted the fucking Kinect. They just want a camera. I don't know why people want a camera. I think it's the Skype video calls, because there's no point in having Skype now.
No.
Well, I suppose we could still use Skype on the off chance that we take our Xbox somewhere and we decide to do a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
One of us can still record the podcast with our Skype recorder.
Let's be fair, but you should just put Skype on your phone.
I do have Skype on my phone. I never use it.
No. But at a push, you could.
That's because every time I log into Skype on my phone, I get the notifications of all of the fucking podcast shit that we do.
Awesome.
So anyway, moving on.
Yep.
That was the news of Grainger Games shutting down. We just started talking about everything fucking else. Clearly we're tired. What have we been playing? Brooks, you've been on your Switch.
I have, mate. I'm well chuffed. I've finally finished Bayonetta. You know, the 2009, so 9-year-old Japanese action game. Have you played Bayonetta?
The only thing I know about Bayonetta is that as you take damage, you get more naked.
Kind of. And I say kind of because I couldn't really see that clearly because I was on my Switch. Because I've done a couple of trips back and forth to London, it actually gave me a chance to finish off. So, Bayonetta is basically... Okay, so it was made by a guy called... I'm definitely going to butcher his name. So I think it's Hideki Kamiya, I think. Who, in the past, has... he's worked on Resident Evil... He directed Devil May Cry, he directed Akami, and then he went on to create Platinum Games, along with a couple of other people, namely Shinji Mikami. So Platinum Games made, partnered up with Sega to make Bayonetta, which is essentially a Devil May Cry clone, but just with a witch as your main character. And I don't mean that to sound as, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't mean to sound as much of a dick as I do saying that. I'm just going, it's Devil May Cry with a chick, because, it's not, because it's
Kind of is.
But like Devil May Cry, it's got a solid combat system. It's one of those games that you can button mash your way through pretty much every situation if you want to, or if you really want to, you can learn all the combos and start. It's not as blatant as say Devil May Cry, where it ranks you as you're going, but you get at the end of every section, let's say, or they call them verse. At the end of every verse, you're ranked and you're given a rank. Anywhere from stone, which is complete and utter bollocks, all the way up to like pure platinum, which is the dog's bollocks. Yeah. So you play as Bayonetta, who is a witch who has kind of stumbled into things, trying to resurrect other things. You're trying to protect a fictional European town called Vigrid from many angels and demons and things who are trying to resurrect this all-powerful demon/angel thing and take over the world. It's not an original story, even a little bit. But what makes Bayonetta is this very, very fluid feeling combat system, and it is very easy to feel like a complete badass while you're playing as well. Because I kind of started, I was like, I button mash like X. Oh, okay, this is going well. What happens if I do this? And it's a bit like when you play like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter and you pull off a couple of really cool combos and you're like, well, I'm fucking getting the hang of this. This is going to be good. And you can mix all that in with, as all these games have, there's a dodge mechanic. If you time your dodge perfectly, you go into witch time mode, which
like
basically
bullet time.
Similar, yeah. Just it slows time down except for you. So everything else is going slow, but you can run up and start laying ultra speed combos on these things that are just kind of going really slow. But it is really, really, and this was what surprised me, I think, was how good the combat was. So I remember playing the demo back in 2009 when it first came out and going, this is really super insanely quick. I do not understand. I can't see what's going on the screen. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. So I just never played it. And then obviously a couple of years ago, Nintendo managed to make a deal with Platinum Games to make Bayonetta a Wii U exclusive.
Well, to be fair, Nintendo did have a finger in the pie of the original Bayonetta.
Did they?
Yeah, it's a Sega game, so.
Well, yeah, but it's a Sega game that came out on. It's Sega published, made by Platinum, and it came out on 360 and PlayStation 3.
But nobody wanted to release stuff on the Wii U, so when Bayonetta 1 came out on Wii U, it was Nintendo were like, yeah, you can.
Well, no, so this is what I mean. So a couple of years back, they made this deal with Platinum Games to make Bayonetta. Nintendo financed Bayonetta 2.
Yeah.
And as part of that, they Platinum also ported Bayonetta 1 over to Wii U as well.
Probably because Sega can't really throw up the kind of money that they used to for games.
Well, I think at this point Sega were just a non-entity in that. Sega's name is nowhere near this game. Like I booted up Bayonetta, you don't see Sega at all. You just see Platinum Games, and that's it. So I don't think Sega have got anything to do with this anymore. I haven't looked at it that deeply, so I'm possibly wrong. But yeah, Kamiya, I'm sure I'm pronouncing his name wrong, kind of said, well, we wanted to bring Bayonetta 1 over so people that haven't played Bayonetta 1 can play that and play 2 as well. Because, one follows on from the other. I've not played Bayonetta 2 yet, but I do own it. So, I've forgotten where I was going with this. Completely lost my train of thought. So now you've got this action game, and what really surprised me is for Wii U and for Switch, it's an 18 rated action game. It is quite violent. There's lots of shooting, lots of beating the fuck out of people, and this chick whose suit is completely made of her hair, which is just bizarre. Bayonetta is basically what the Japanese think English teachers are like in porn. Like,
Makes sense.
like she talks like a prim and proper English woman does when they put English people into American pornos, and they just made her look like an English teacher. Except, she has a skin-tight suit made of hair.
Just like all teachers.
This is half of my problem with Japanese games, is they're all this fucking bizarre. Like, someone somewhere went, you know what's going to make this good? If she has this skin-tight catsuit on, but then she does a super powerful move, and it turns out that her suit is made of her hair, and it all comes off and turns into monsters. I don't know about you, mate, but if I was near any woman and her hair came off of her and turned into a giant monster, I would run a fucking mile. But no. This chick has got some fucking gnarly pubes that turn into giant wolves and shit. It's scary. But no, I have to admit, I was pleasantly surprised. I really wanted to play it. I bought it on the Switch when Bayonetta 2 released last month, or this month, beginning of this month. I really wanted to play it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy it. Being of the, this is just Devil May Cry with a chick kind of mindset. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I need that. But Bayonetta is actually perfect on the Switch. Absolutely perfect. And it's because it's broken down into very small chapters. So it's 17 chapters long. And we'll get to those in a minute. It's 17 chapters long. And I think each one... I got to about halfway through and I struggled a bit. So I had to drop the difficulty and I dropped it down to easy. But even before that, the chapters average between 10 and 25 minutes each. Which, is perfect for most travelling. I'd done a chapter on the train on the way to London and then a chapter on the train on the way home. I did a chapter and a half on the train on the way down the next day and 2 chapters coming home. The only time that changed was towards the end. The last, let's say 3 chapters, okay? For a start, the game ends and then has 3 more chapters. Like, story-wise, it feels like you've got to the end. And then it continues. It's the Lord of the Rings of video games. Then you do what feels like a final boss, and you get this amazing cutscene, and it all finishes. And I'm sitting on the train, going, "Thank Christ that's done. Right, let's get me phone, because obviously I'm taking photos of all of me finishing these games." So I was like, right, let's get me phone. I'm going to be a right cunt. I'm going to take a selfie of me with the Switch on the train. Fuck yeah, motherfucker. And then it says epilogue. I was like, oh, okay. I've got another quick mission. Now, I don't know about you, mate, but to me, epilogue is like the closing bit. It's the last 5 pages of a book, or it's the post-credit scene of a film, or like most games, it just tells a little bit of extra story.
Mile High Club from Modern Warfare.
Yeah. It'll take you 2 minutes, it'll be done and dusted, good and quick, no worries. No. The epilogue in Bayonetta is the final boss, and it took me almost an hour.
Nice.
I was sitting there because I was trying to... Because we're not going to talk about it too much, I don't suppose, but you and I have been playing A Way Out the last couple of nights. And I really wanted to get on and get playing that. And I'm like, I'm nearly done. I'm on the epilogue. I must be nearly done. No, an hour later, I'm still going, oh, for fuck's sake, hurry up. This is fucking ridiculous. And I tell you what, I got so annoyed. I beat the boss. I got credits rolling. I took my photo, all ready to go, let the credits roll, and then it gave me more stuff to do. I literally just went, no. Just no.
Just stop it.
You've actually Like
I've done
really,
everything.
you've annoyed me now. You've taken this from this is a bit stupid to you've actively pissed me off. I'm not playing you anymore. I don't care that it's just now this is the epilogue where I sit and watch a thing happen. I just don't give a fuck. Apart apart from that though, apart from that one problem, and sometimes on the little screen it can be a bit difficult to work out what it is you've got to do because it's not a hand-holdy game. It doesn't tell you exactly where to go. For the most part, it's relatively linear and pretty corridored, so you shouldn't have an issue. But when you end up in some areas that are a bit more open, they're not sprawling open worlds, but when you're in areas a bit more open, it can sometimes be a bit disorientating on the little screen going, oh, where the fuck I look like an old person. Where the fuck am I going? Where am I supposed to be going? But the thing right up by my screen, like my nan reading large print books. But
Ah,
apart from that, I really, really liked it. The action was fun. The story was interesting. Characters were cool. Quite looking forward to number 2. I'm not going to play it yet. I do think if I started it now, I'd probably burn out and never finish it. So I'm going to go play something else first, and then I'll probably come back to it. But yeah, that's my.
speaking of Platinum Games, there's a
Mhm.
couple of games on their in their library that I wouldn't mind seeing go onto Switch.
Go on, then.
The Wonderful 101.
I've not played it.
It is a Wii U title, so obviously neither of us would have done because Wii U were stupid expensive for no reason. But the fact is that that's definitely one of those games where you'll see on a direct at some point because it's a game that was largely popular for the 80 people who owned a Wii U.
Yeah.
And Star Fox Zero, which would be a great game to bonus on to the next Star Fox game.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Fox would be fun, but that's the kind of game that would go quite well, actually. I think on. Yeah, I quite like Platinum Games, because they made Vanquish, didn't they?
Yep.
I really fucking like Vanquish.
And Mad World, which was one of the best Wii games of all time.
Yeah. Did they do because Anarchy Reigns, didn't they? That was like the sequel to Mad World, wasn't it?
Anarchy Reigns was wasn't that a fighter? Like a proper. It wasn't really a sequel. It was more a spiritual successor.
Yeah, it was like
Like
an arena fighter
yeah.
thing, wasn't it?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that the Mad World characters were a DLC for it or something. Yeah.
But yeah, I like Platinum Games. I wouldn't mind playing Vanquish again. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, knee sliding everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I've been playing, mate.
Cool.
How about you?
So I played the best-selling IP from Microsoft this generation.
Gears of War.
Best-selling new IP, rather. I think is fastest-selling new IP of the Xbox One generation. Which, if you really think about it, doesn't really sound that impressive because
Well, no.
what other new IPs have there been?
When you pick that statement apart, it's not as impressive as it first sounds.
Uh,
So what have you been playing?
I was playing Sea of Thieves.
And
I I don't know if I like it or not. I've got 2 massively different experiences playing it in the space of 2 days,
okay.
just because of the people I was playing with. So I'll start with on Saturday, the first day that I played Sea of Thieves. I was playing with an old school friend and his younger brother, who is still as annoying and complete dickbag as he was back when I first played with him before he went to uni. In fact, he's probably a little bit worse. But we were just playing the game. We weren't trying to do anything. We were just sailing around. We went on a random voyage, grabbed a load of chests. We just had no chemistry on the actual boat itself.
Okay.
Sorry, ship. Sorry, Kenway. And it was just awkward trying to sort everything out. There was my friend's brother was not getting involved. He was manning the cannons all the time, just wouldn't move the sails, wouldn't steer the ship, wouldn't go down and try and patch the hull and try and bail the water. He would just go to the cannons and start firing at other ships, even though they were fucking miles away. Could barely you could if you could get if you couldn't if you could lead the shot to hit them, you probably wouldn't still have hit them because
Wow.
they were just like stupid shots to even try and attempt. So in the meantime, I was moving the sails around, dropping down, running repairs, bailing shit out, while going back up and then going back upstairs, moving the sails around. And it was just fucking awful. And
Yeah.
we lost all of our treasure. So we just done a load of voyages, just done a load of random stuff, filled our ship up with crap, and then instead of returning back to one of the ports to hand it in and make our XP and money,
Yeah.
we then sank. So then we went to the one of the strongholds and then got killed immediately and fucked that up. And I started to get a bit bored after about 3 hours, and I was just going, this is not entertaining in the slightest. We're just going around in circles of only two of us really actually doing anything, and the other one saying he's doing a lot and then not actually helping at all.
Yeah.
Just proper, just looking after himself style. Yeah,
Yeah. That's not a good effective gameplay loop, really, is it?
no. So I stopped playing that. On Sunday, I played with our mutual northern EGX buddy, Dunny,
Oh yeah.
and one of his cousins. Um, and things were so much better because I was
Yeah.
playing with people who actually had played the game and started to learn it, so they were actually telling me how to do shit. Bearing in mind that the day before it was my first attempt at playing Sea of Thieves, I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Is there still no tutorial for Sea of Thieves?
There's still no tutorial for it,
Okay.
or at least if there is, I didn't get a chance to play it because I loaded the game up, chose my character, and then had to load into my friend's lobby to play with him without
Yeah.
actually loading the game at all. So I had no idea how to do anything. I didn't know that I could go and change my weapons whenever I wanted to. Finding out that the weapons skins are cosmetic only and there's no upgrades, so all that money you can spend on it is just to make it look different.
Okay.
And that you shouldn't have a load of stock on hand. You should probably you're supposed to keep it inside the ship and then go get more from other places. This is
Yeah.
all like really simple stuff that I never learned the first day. Playing it the second day with people who were trying to rank stuff up and they were actually telling me how to do shit. I mean, I haven't cleared any of the basic missions at all because they were all a bit too low level for them. So I was just doing their missions.
Yeah.
So the leveling system is purely is just for your goods. It's not you that ranks up on your weapons and shit. So you do the same damage to the same enemies that they do, regardless of how long you've been playing it for. So
Yeah.
that's actually a pretty cool element. So you don't become overpowered or underpowered or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can still do the stuff that they are, but it ranks me up faster with all of my merchants and other stuff
Yeah.
because I'm doing their stuff instead of mine.
Okay.
So at some point I might play it, but we were playing around and it actually worked. We took turns steering the ship, going to the map to find out what's going on, finding out where, sorting out the compass points, directions, the sails. We got into a couple of fights and we actually won them because we actually tried to do stuff. And we then randomly found a dude on an island in a tiny boat on his own. And we just pulled our ship up alongside it. Then they went and looted it
Okay.
of all of his stuff, and then we sunk his boat. And then just
Just
sailed
mean.
off. But apparently there's loads of people now have put loads of weird little guides of how to do stuff on there. So one of the things that everyone seems to be doing now is storing all of their goodies up in the crow's nest.
Okay.
Now, if you really think about it, storing stuff in the crow's nest, brilliant idea when no one else thinks about it because no one's going to go climb a ladder because it's You know, it's fucking climbing a ladder. Why
Yeah.
would you think about putting stuff up there? But now everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
There's no point putting it up there because everyone else is just going to go up the fucking ladder. Um, I really like some of the stuff about it, like the firing yourself out of a cannon.
Okay.
If you're on your ship, instead of jumping overboard and swimming to land, or jumping overboard and then climbing someone else's boat, you just aim the cannon, climb in, and fire.
Okay.
You fire yourself at it, whatever it is, and where depending on where you aim the cannon, you can get some pretty decent distance. So we were at an island, me, Dunny, and his cousin, at an island, and we were trying to find where the fuck to go, and they'd both had gone off on different sides of the island after swimming off, and I came back and they said, "Can you come and help me over here?" And I was like, "Whereabouts?" And they said, "Oh, it's the far east of the island." So I was like, "Okay, cool." Aimed the cannon, lifted the height up, fired, and I actually managed to get myself to land pretty fucking close to where they were standing.
Nice.
And they just looked at me as if to go, "How the fuck did you get here so quickly?" It took us like 10 minutes to walk over here. I was like, "Just fired the cannon."
Yeah.
So first day, shit. Probably wouldn't have played Sea of Thieves a second time if it wasn't for the fact I was playing with Danny and his cousin. So
Yeah.
kind of saved Sea of Thieves for me a bit. I can see it getting a bit monotonous and the same. It's going to take a lot of support to get it to be a continuously playing to game, but I think its biggest problem is that the server size can only handle 6 ships.
Yeah. That seems really low. I mean, obviously you don't want too many there, 'cause you don't want to overload the game and have 40 ships. This ain't Eve Online.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
you can't have 197 ships all in the same 5 square foot of ocean.
no. 6 ships would be plenty if the map was a little bit smaller. Like you dropped the map size down about 20%.
Yeah.
The 6 ships would be a lot more obvious. But it makes sense to have lower ships because otherwise you just go in now with the way it's a pirate game. Everyone's just going around blowing each other up. I've yet to sail near another ship and either A, us not fire at it, or B, them not fire at us.
Yeah.
If you were to put 10 ships on, you're going to get a lot more. If you were to put 80 much more, or shrink the map down much more, yeah, you're going to see a lot more people sailing around. But you're also going to be constantly not able to make any money because you'll be getting a load filling. You'll be doing a voyage, getting a chest, and then getting boarded within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to sail back to an outpost.
No.
You'll be moored at a fucking island, and then you'll go back to where your ship's supposed to be, and it won't be there anymore.
Because you and Danny have come along and stolen it.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. So, hey, you didn't buy it, did you? Installed it from Game Pass.
Yeah, I've got Game Pass, so big advantage for Game Pass now is the whole you can now play games on release for Xbox titles.
Yeah. So that would be good for me for Forza, I think.
Oh yeah, when what's the Crackdown? I think is supposed to be coming around.
Yeah.
Big save on that one, being that it's with Game Pass, so
Yeah.
it's good for games if you're not interested in buying it. You can just bust out a Game Pass subscription for like a month for like £4. £4 for a month to play a game, probably cheaper than buying the game. Especially if you're not going to play it for very long. The only thing I would say is that if you've paid for Sea of Thieves and you get a bit bored, just be, they've got the whole digital refund system.
Yeah.
There's always that. Same with every game that you can do. Same with Far Cry if I get around to playing it, because I've got it digitally.
Yeah.
So if I don't like Far Cry 5, which I seriously doubt, seeing as I was the only game I played twice at EGX, just because the fucking bears.
Yeah, well, that's it. I enjoyed all the Far Cry games. I haven't played Primal yet, but I did enjoy all of the Far Cry games to varying degrees. And I'm really looking forward. Oh, excuse me, yawning in the middle of the podcast. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on. I'll get my teeth into 5. I've got it installed. It's all ready to go. I just need to find a couple of hours to start it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of pretty much all we have for the games coming this month, and for like another like 2-3 months.
Yeah,
There really isn't a lot coming.
I've got
this
such a
year.
backlog of things I really want to play though. So, I've Far Cry. I still haven't finished Tomb Raider. I've got Far Cry to play. Got A Way Out to finish. I looked at a guide. I think we're about halfway through. So we probably still got another 4 hours to go. Yeah, I've got loads that I want to play. I haven't finished Assassin's Creed Origins yet. And this is why I've done this challenge this year was to finish fucking games because I keep starting games and not finishing them. So, we've got a new Metro game coming out soon, so I want to play through 1 and 2 again.
Yeah, Metro.
I still need to finish Darksiders 1 and 2 because I bought those specifically because they announced Darksiders 3 and I was like, oh right, let's fucking do this. Got halfway through Darksiders 1 and fucked off to play something else.
I at least finished Darksiders 1.
Yeah.
That game was a lot different towards the end to what I remembered. Proper wasn't paying attention the first time around I played it, I think.
No. But yeah. So would you recommend Sea of Thieves, do you reckon?
I'd recommend Sea of Thieves if you have Game Pass. I wouldn't recommend buying it, I don't think.
No.
It's not big enough a game yet. If you've got a big chunk of friends to play with that actually you can guarantee you're actually going to play with them rather than play against them in a fucking co-op game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it if you're playing it on your own because you're just going to end up, the same treatment that one guy got.
Yeah.
So just 3 people rock up on a ship,
Just get murked.
steal all this stuff, destroy a ship, and then that was it. We probably ruined his experience of Sea of Thieves at that point because he came over the chat with ahoy, and then he quit. I think he just left the game completely because the mermaid just disappeared.
Bloody hell. Yeah, so I'll hold off Sea of Thieves for now, I think then.
Yeah. If you've got Game Pass, then hey, maybe if we can find some more time, we could probably play some Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Seeing as we somehow managed to find some time for the first time in about 2 years.
Two nights in a row as well.
Me and Brooks managed to first time ever 2 nights in a row, but the first time in like 2 years, me and Brooks managed to find enough time to play a game together, and we will wait until we finish it in about a month's time.
Yeah.
Sometime next year, we will finish A Way Out.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to finishing it though, because really dodgy fucking dialogue aside, I'm really enjoying playing that.
I'm really liking it. It's a fun little puzzler, and it's not a long game.
No.
So we should really be getting around close to in 2 nights. We've probably played 5 hours.
Yeah, about that.
So we're probably quite near the end. So the apparent plot twist for us hasn't happened.
No. I do know it's coming, which is why I'm a bit dubious to reading too far into. I have to kind of guess how far through we are by looking at chapter names.
Yeah. So I'm just I keep seeing people saying, "Oh my god, I didn't really see that plot twist coming," or A Way Out has a really good story into it. And I'm like thinking, yes, please stop talking because I'm a little invested in this, even without the dodgy voice acting.
Yeah.
And the dodgy noses.
Yeah. Very dodgy noses. Painfully dodgy noses.
Painfully dodgy noses, awful beards.
Yeah. And hella sideburns.
Yep.
I think that about wraps us up, mate.
I think yeah, we're definitely done. What you got a recommendation?
I have a weird recommendation as well. So I'm not going to recommend a game today. On
It's a
YouTube.
game podcast, mate.
Well, no, bear with me. Hear me out. On YouTube, hunt out I think they're called gamementary.
Okay.
I believe. They recently, so yesterday, released a 99-minute or 100-minute, hour and 40-minute documentary on Darksiders.
Ooh.
It is really, really good. It's the story of how Darksiders became Darksiders. Everything from concept to, coming up with the company name, to coming up with the name of the game, to pitching it, everything. And it covers all of Darksiders 1 and a big chunk of Darksiders 2, and everything from art to level design to music, all of that. And obviously it ends then with the story of Gunfire Games and Darksiders, the start of the Darksiders 3 story. I watched it today. It was really, really interesting. I've gone and stuck it on my watch later list for YouTube so I can sit down and watch it again in peace and quiet and just sit and enjoy it like I would any other documentary. Don't be fooled just because it's a documentary about a video game. It's not one of these 15-minute, retrospective things. Time and money has gone into this, and it really shows. Obviously it's talking heads. It's a talking heads documentary, but that's just the way it is. But yeah, it literally is just called Darksiders the documentary, and it's by Gamementries or something.
Gamementary.
Gamementary.
Okay. Gamementary.
Gamementary.
There we go.
I will, at some point after I've posted the link for the podcast, now I will post a link for the video because it's excellent, an excellent documentary, very interesting. Obviously, more interesting if you like Darksiders, which I do.
And the people who don't like Darksiders, you should probably watch it anyway, just because it's stuff about games.
Yeah, there's a lot of chat about, obviously, like I said, how it was made, how they pitched it. It's a really interesting 90 minutes, hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes ish. But yeah, that's my recommendation, mate.
I can't technically recommend anything because there's nothing available to people that I've played. So my recommendation is going to be the fact that you can play A Way Out on trial if you know someone who owns the game.
That is genius.
Or has a copy of the game. It's great. It means that someone could go buy the game, and if they don't want to play with someone randomly online, I'm guessing that's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not. I don't think I've at any point seen a button that says just invite random person.
Or if you don't have anyone to play or a second controller to play on the couch, you've got the option for someone to download the trial. It's 14-ish gigabytes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a lot to download the game. The only downside to the trial is you don't earn achievements.
No. But because we're just kind of going through, not really focusing on achievements, I think I've only got 2 or 3.
One of which I got you for just doing something.
That was amazing. You do something, I get achievement. Woohoo!
I think I helped the bike.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was for. But A Way Out has some pretty cool mini games.
Yeah, it's got some fun little mini games in it. It's got some fun puzzles. Like, they're not particularly taxing, but you go, oh yeah, maybe we have to do this. And it is quite satisfying to, steal a screwdriver successfully.
Yeah.
But
more on that in the coming episodes.
Yeah. But
when we finish it.
It's I have to admit, I do think it's a genius move. Only one person needs a license for A Way Out, and the other person can just play on the trial. Perfect.
Genius, brilliant, love it. More games should do it, especially games that rely on co-op by significantly.
Yeah, I think that's why they've done it though, because A Way Out on your own would suck. I'm not even sure it would be possible.
If you'd have to play both characters, so you move one character along to a point of no return, and then
Yeah.
have to move the other character to catch up.
Yeah.
And then the AI takes over for things like the running sequences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so this being the typical end of the podcast, Brooker, how do people find you?
I am on Twitter at Brooker411, where I just bitch and moan all the time about everything. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yep. Cool. And you can find me on Twitter as the John_CU, on Xbox Live as Long Dong Silver. And if you're not interested in us as individual people, you can check out the Character Unlock Twitter page, the Character Unlock Facebook page, the Character Unlock YouTube channel, Character Unlock Podbean channel, Character Unlock iTunes podcast channel. Do we have anything else? Instagram account that I haven't posted on for a while for Character Unlock.
I'm slowly building the website.
We have a website with stuff
At the moment,
on it.
the only thing that's regularly on the website is just an additional way to listen to the podcast. Once I get into a flow and I have a build that I'm happy with, I will occasionally post some stuff up there. But I've kind of taken a step away from my writing this year, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to put too much effort into it. But
Yeah.
but writing stuff will go up eventually.
See, and the other side of it is I fucking hate writing, but because I love and believe in Character Unlock, I might find a bit of middle ground somewhere
Yeah.
that I actually get around to doing stuff half professionally for us, because it's unfair for Brooker to do all of the fucking work, seeing as he does 90% of it already. I'm just here to look pretty on a talk show.
The face for radio, mate.
Exactly. Exactly. So, as always, thanks for listening, you lovely, lovely people, and Lee. Say goodnight, Brooks.
Good night, mate.